Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about change, and very interestingly, just I was about to press the button for recording, and out of nowhere, a little small cat appeared behind the scenes and is right now enjoying himself on the left hand side, just under the sun. And it's like a joke, like, why are you guys talking about change? Just enjoy the time, there's nothing to change. He's definitely going to be an inspiration for me while we will be seriously discussing about change. uh, I wish I was able to show him, but he's a little bit behind the trees right now. Okay, so why change? Um, I think change is very meaningful, especially at this time of the year, while we are still thinking and planning for what we would like to invite into our lives. And it's also relevant to my personal experience after I started sharing these videos a couple days ago. Maybe very coincidentally, one of my cousins reached out and asked why people started sharing interesting things on social media. Like everyone turned out to be like bakers and cooks, sharing how they do things and stuff like that. And I didn't want to take it personally. But I told her, yeah, I think 2020 was a year like an incubation period for everyone, where we couldn't do much externally, but we did quite a lot of internal digging, internal reflection. Hopefully, we spent quite a lot of time alone to really figure things out, to take time to pause, to take time to digest all the experiences that we've gone through and what it means for us and what we would like to change in our lives, especially during these challenging times. Facing critical human challenges like that is also making us question what's the meaning in our lives, why are we here, what we would like to bring into this presence as we call our lives. And to me, actually, this year will be a reflection of that incubation period, what it's prepared for us. And we have already seen quite a lot of good examples emerging in our own lives. Personally, I started my own journey in a different shape or form, being a little bit more vulnerable, being a little bit more out there and experimenting things, although it's still scary personally for me as well. But I've also seen quite a lot of my friends in my networks who started exploring different angles in their own ways. Some of them are doing what I'm doing, some of them are into dancing, some of them are into music. But in their own ways, everyone actually started exploring, sharing more about their lives, about their gifts, and learning along the journey too. Sometimes to be able to make a change, we don't have to figure out everything. I think this was a key theme that I briefly talked about before. Change is usually scary because our rational minds want to figure out everything. But it's actually a quick decision. If something in you is calling you to do something differently, enough itself is an invitation for you to make the choice towards love. Not that it's not scary, it's definitely scary. And being brave actually in human experience, I think, is not being absent of the feelings, being absent of negative emotions or concerns or fears. It means if we have to make a choice, we are conscious enough to make that choice towards love, towards what we are called to do, towards our motivations, towards our inspirations. And hopefully, along the journey, we'll learn. We'll learn whether this is for us or not. As humans, we also learn by experience. Well, not trying something is the safest path because there is no failure. But definitely, it's not being alive. You experience something, and even if you figure out that it's not for you, at least you learn along the journey. If you can frame change in that way, there's not much to be scared of. It's just an experimentation to see where it will lead you. Maybe you will grow along the journey. Maybe you will develop new skills. Maybe you will find new ways of sharing your gifts. Maybe it will lead into a different shape or form of connection for you, with like-minded individuals, with others who you didn't even know if they exist. Another thing that came up personally in my own journey, but also when I had a chance to interact with a couple of my friends who were opening up over the last few weeks as well, there's this key theme of questioning yourself. Who am I to share something? Is there something unique enough that's worthy for sharing? Which is actually a very common mental pattern. It's like a mind trick. Mind is really questioning you because it's afraid. Because it's like what you're about to do is actually against its working standards. Like, you don't know what you don't know, and something in you is still calling for making this change. And of course, mind will do its trick. Why are you doing this? Is it safe? You're gonna put yourself out there. It's gonna make you vulnerable. What do people think? Are you good enough? Am I polished enough? Do I look good enough? Is my accent good enough? Everything. Think about every concern or question that might come up. And it's actually very normal. Every human being who is creative, and we all are creative, has to go through the same challenges of pain or the gift of vulnerability before crossing the bridge to the other side of creation, bringing something unique to the world. And I truly believe that we all have something unique to say. It's a very actually paradoxical claim. We are all unique, but we are also not unique at all. We all share the same experiences as human beings. So that actually addresses two of the concerns that we might have. One thing is really, is there something meaningful in the things that I'm going to talk about? And the answer is yes, because we are all humans and we all share the same emotions, we all share the same concerns. Maybe the personalities in our lives or the key themes might be different, but basically it's the same human experience. We all go through the same major relationship problems, relationship concerns, work concerns, career concerns, health and body concerns. So your life experience is actually meaningful for others because there's a commonality that we always share as human beings on the earth. The second side of the story is really, is my voice unique enough? Or do I really have something unique enough to say? Which is also another mental trick. And the major sometimes concern behind it is also mind thinking, well, someone has done this before, so I don't have anything to add more, so it's not unique, and I'm worthy being unique, so who am I to say something that has been done before? It's actually another very sweet ego trick. Thinking that we are all separate, thinking that we are all at the top of our own little small mountains and we are just trying to portray the best image. But again, it's an illusion. It's an illusion that your mind is trying to play with you. And the other side of the illusion is actually the real truth, again, which resides within our unity. Yes, you have something unique to say, because although we all share the same human experience of emotions and concerns or whatever feeling that you name it, as individuals we also have our own unique stories, our own unique voices. And that voice is there for connecting others who would find value in that. Not that it's going to connect with everyone, and it's not supposed to connect with everyone, but definitely if something in you is calling you to share, there is usually and almost all the time a meaning behind it. A meaning behind it calling for your unique reflection, unique voice to help others to realize their unity. That's the paradoxical part. You are actually using your own human experience by bringing your voice, your truth, in whatever shape or form, music, art, just simply talking. But while doing so, you are actually revealing the underlying unity that we all share as human beings. Because if you can go deep enough, there's nothing too personal. Because we, like I said, share the same codes as human beings. So when I actually use my mind against my mind to answer all these concerns or questions, the answer is yes for everything. Well, who am I to share something? I am just another human being going through this human experience. I have all the rights to share something. Do I have something unique to say? And the answer is yes for that one too, because I have my own life experience, which is 100% different than anyone else on the earth. And definitely that's bringing a unique voice to me. And that unique voice can help me to connect with others and can help actually us to realize how united we are, although we seem different, although we all have different footprints in life. To me, it's actually an amazing realization of how those two different things are actually coming from the same concerns of the mind, concerns of our ego, concerns of our separate identities. And if you can really be aware of this trick, see it when it's happening, and the answer is easier. The forward path is easier. If you have to choose between fear and love, if you can say yes to love, then change is easy. Change is easier. Not that it's still not fearful, it's definitely fearful, but it's worth trying. And this is not also a motivation for everyone to get out there and start talking like I'm doing, but definitely this was an invitation personally for me. And the invitation might be slightly different for you. But if there's one thing that's very common for every one of us, we are all creators. We are all creators to bring new gifts to this world. It could be in the shape and form of a relationship. It could be a business. It could be an art piece. It could be just literally your evolution as a human being as well, because you are an art piece. That's the biggest masterpiece. If you think about creation this way, then the next question is, what's the invitation for you this year? What is your heart calling for you to change this year? And are you ready to choose love if you have to make a change? I think these are good questions to ask and to contemplate in January. And I hope we all find our own ways of bringing that positive change into our lives. And the birds are in alignment with me too. Have a good day, everyone. Bye for now.